and accept that people use Elgato. Like, fix your crap with Elgato, and then I'll be happy. It's not your end, it's my end. And it's really actually, it's my PC at this point, because like I've tried it with both my capture cards, and this does this with both my AverMedia and my Elgato. The only difference between my Elgato and my AverMedia on OBS is literally just the fact that it's delayed video feedback on my AverMedia. Like, that's the only difference. Everything else is it works just fine. And the reason why I hate to actually use my AverMedia versus my Elgato is because of the fact that it's so delayed that yeah, it's just one of those things that I don't want to deal with it. I'm honestly tempted, so I have heard that other adapters don't do this with the Elgato capture card, and maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll get one of those instead. Which sucks, because I'm like, I paid full price for this upscaler, and it's the best one I've had so far, and it still gives me problems. And I wonder if it's also the latest update too, because I wonder if I didn't update it, if it would have worked perfectly fine. I don't know. I'll have to hook it up to my AverMedia after this run attempt. If I screw up and reset, I'm gonna switch capture cards again, see if it does that on resets. So if it doesn't, then I'm probably gonna stick to, I'll probably stick with AverMedia, but I really don't want to until I can get a new AverMedia card, because I think what the problem is my AverMedia card is just old enough that it has that delay. I think the new ones don't have that big of an issue. And if all else fails, I can just go grab a composite, or an S-Video splitter, and just use the RetroTink for, actually hooking up to my TV in the other split of the S-Video signal to a capture card that can accept S-Video. That's like the only other option I have. Which is whatever, I'll just have to play it by ear. But I think what it is really is, it's when I just I think it's a soft reset when you actually hit the reset button. And then physically turning the console on and off is actually what can keep the audio just fine. And that might be what I have to do, is just instead of hitting reset, I just turn the console off and back on. We'll have to test that and figure that out. So like when I save and reset, I'll physically turn the console on and off and see if the audio desyncs still. And if it doesn't, then I know what it is, and then I don't have to worry about upgrading anything, at least for the moment. Oh. I'm hoping to do so. My goal for this category is to get under 2444 And why it's so specific is, back in the day when I actually did run this, like, seriously, I was playing on emulator, because at the time I didn't have access to all the fancy bells and whistles to get WeVC working. I actually ended up getting that time kind of somewhat illegally. I didn't submit to the leaderboards because I knew I didn't legitimately get the time. But I still count that as a PB until I actually got back into the category. So my real PB is what you see on the timer. So, hey, I didn't submit it to the leaderboards. It's not my real PB anymore. My real PB is actually right there. And my best possible time, actually, is like 2 minutes under what my goal is. So I know I can achieve the time on here. I just have to get back into the game. Cause like the tricks that I did in that run, I did swordless, I did the swordless route. So I have to relearn the swordless route again and get used to that. And then the other thing I have to do is I have to relearn Gumma Clip. And I'm hoping to use the modernized Ganondorf setup to get my run faster. And I shouldn't say I like cheated. I say I did, but it was just using. I accidentally bumped my save state button when I was trying to reset my timer. So it was an accident. It wasn't like on purpose, but I was kind of getting fed up, and that was like my last run for the category anyway at the time because I was getting ready to do other things, move on. So I'm like, I want to get a good PB at the time, and it would have been around that same time anyway, if not a little bit faster. If I would have gotten the trick anyway. So, but I'm not proud of it, of course. I want to get the time legitimately, and so that's why I've been kind of like shooting for that goal and then just never touching the category for a while, or if at all anymore. Oh my goodness. And honestly, I don't think, like, I'm all for using emulators for runs, but I don't think that they are like the best way to play the game. Like, yeah, submit them and whatnot, like allow them for runs and races and stuff. But honestly, until you get like a real PB on like a real like hardware, I don't think it's like it's like the best quality of run you can get. Like, even if you play perfectly and everything, because you're playing on an emulator, you're still getting a little bit of help in a sense, because you're getting the N64 analog stick range to be perfect for your controller setup. Whereas, if you play on an actual hardware console, you actually have, you know, whatever issues that the controller has, or the dead zone or whatever on the console, you actually have, you know, have struggles to deal with that. Yeah, see, like that's what I agree. Like even if you do allow it in like races and stuff like that, like I don't think people should be taking the emulator runs seriously. Like honestly, like actual hardware like provides more of a challenge. So okay, so that was a save and reset. I did physically turn off the console and back on, so hopefully the audio is still good. Okay, so then that's probably what I'm gonna have to do then from now on is turn off the console and turn it back on for like everything. Which sucks because like it's faster to just hit the reset button on your console. And if that doesn't, and if that's what's causing the audio problems, then that really sucks. Come on. I'm targeting Nito. Don't assume, game, that I'm not. All right. Yeah, you missed. So you missed. My last run of this. My actual run before. Before I swapped over to Smash Brothers, Pika, I ended up getting a -8 on my bottle split, which actually I've never been able to get for like the longest time since I got my PB. So being ahead this far-ish was actually like still really good for in my case. I think my beginning game was solid and it like failed here is where it faltered. I am pressing the buttons. I'm like getting missed inputs here. Okay, so that glitch is a 1.0 exclusive. It allows me to essentially, well, sorry, okay, it's not 1.0 exclusive. The method of which I got it is 1.0 exclusive. If you do quick put away and store the damage value, you actually end up getting something else kind of crazy. Okay. I'm only doing this so I don't die to Goma this time. Last time I ended up dying to Goma when I didn't want to. Like she killed me and then I didn't kill her at the same frame. So I'm doing that just for safety reasons. So I'm hoping like if she does hit me, I at least won't game over. I'll be set up for the double KO. And if I don't get the double KO, that's not like a huge deal breaker, but it would be preferable if I can. Okay. So there's Ganon. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just do my regular... I'll just do this. I won't take any damage and won't do the double KO if I'm already ahead this fast. Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to even do the double KO if I'm already this far ahead. I think I can still get my gold time with this method. Okay, is the audio still good? Yeah, but if you so the benefit of dying right there is because then I can just go straight to performing Ganondorf instead of doing this. So that's why you either want to do the double KO or you want to clip out of bounds with Goma clip. Because this actually wastes a little bit of time. But in my case, since I'm not doing either, since I'm not able to perform either at the moment, I think I'm taking damage is just a waste of time at this point. So this is, this actually lets me, oh. Wow, okay, never mind, I gotta go down that way. Whatever, it was supposed to save me time. So this category actually has us go straight to the end of the game, from here. There we go. So, so I probably just lost all the time that I saved. That's okay, it's not a big deal. So the reason why I had to go back to Link's house is actually so I don't crash the game. If I would have done this trick without going back to Link's house, I would have crashed the game. Yeah, it looks like it looks like I'll save a whole lot more time if I don't take damage and just go for a Gumma kill. That, and if I would have gotten the Mega Flip, I would have gotten through just fine and kept the time save. So maybe that's what I'll do is I won't go for the Mega Flip. I think the Mega Flip might be what's causing the problem. So the issue that I have with this category is I try to go for consistency more than the risky fast strats. But the problem is, even if I do that, I still risk losing runs all the time, and it sucks. So yeah, and that's what I normally do, but I can't do the double KO setup like most people do. Like, I have a hard time doing it. And so what I've found that I can do, it's still tricky to do, but you can do it, is if you get ISG and you walk up to Goma and hit her leg on the same frame as you killing her with ISG, you can still get the double KO without having to waste Deku Nuts. So, and I always forget to take damage, and that's why I take damage from the Deku Scrubs, because I keep forgetting to do it. Because, I'm still trying to de-rust. I haven't touched the category in, months. This is, the third day of me doing runs again on the category. So I'm still trying to find, my muscle memory. And honestly, with the strats that I'm doing, I don't even think the double KO is even worth it. Since I'm not getting it consistent enough with the ISG setup, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do what I've been doing and just pray that I can get a run going. No way. Oh, that was like the best stealthless battle I ever had. Oh. That may not seem like much, but that actually really, like, kind of lifts my spirits a little bit the way that happened. So if I can get ISG off of Ganon, it's over. I can stop doing this category for at least for the foreseeable future in terms of like actively running it. I just need to pray that Zelda doesn't crash my game. Come on, Zelda, don't crash my game and give me the sweetness. No! Don't talk, Link! Thank you, Zelda. Okay, I got the kiss. Sweet. Okay, so I lost 4 seconds due to talking to her. But I got the kiss, so I'm not mad. Okay, Aishi, please work. Please work. I'm only gonna go for it once, and then if not, I'm gonna be power crouch stabbing the whole time. Because I have found, so my run that I did last night, that actually I've noticed, or had a major audio problem here, and it's been the first. So I was live streaming this on a Discord call, and recording, and I ended up losing like audio entirely, like not even cutting out or desynced. It just flat out just no audio throughout the entire collapse, and that was it. It came back during this cutscene, and actually, I think went away when I performed Ganondorf. I don't remember for sure when it like cut out, but it cut out throughout the whole collapse. It was kind of funny. And I'm like, well, that sucks. It didn't PB, it was like 20 seconds slower than my PB, but I'm like, it was just a theory to see how big of a time loss it would be if I don't get ISG, but still do the power crouch stab immediately after attempting once ISG, so. Okay. I got 3 minutes to get ISG and kill Ganon and beat my PB. Okay. I won't be mad. So I know for sure because of kind of the way I've been doing it, I'm not going to get that 24-minute time. I have to get the double KO or clip out of bounds. Preferably the clip out of bounds. That'll save me more time. But other than that, like, so far this is the best I can do so far. Pause. Okay, so ISG1 failed. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Power crouch stabbing works. Come on. Dude, he's moving. Dude, Ganon, stop moving! If he wasn't gonna move! No! Is the audio still good, Pika? Like, did it ever desync or like start cutting out? Oh, good. Thank you. Sweet. Whoa! Did you hear that? I think I. Sweet. So that's my first run that actually had fine audio and a new PB. Sweet. It was a overall crappy. It was an okay run. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the. But if you heard at the very end, it sounded like I did a quick spin, even though I didn't, like, I only held the analog stick in the one direction to go hit Ganon and just let go. I didn't spin it. So it sounded like I did the quick spin to kill him. So I got past the 26-minute barrier. Now to save a whole other minute. A minute and 2 seconds now. Which is, at that point, to get ISG, for one. And then another to, I think to actually hit Ganondorf, with either double KO or Gumma Clip. I think that's the next, thing I can possibly do at this point. That too. I could also try that. Because, like, I think what I can do, I don't have GZ on my, I don't have GZ or, EverDrive, so I can't necessarily do a low TAD like a lot of people are able to do. That's also my next investment. So, I need to see if I can do kind of a somewhat like a low TED kind of thing. Like, see what the best possible time I can get with what I'm doing right now is. Because I feel like I can get my PB to be the 24:44, beat that time with what I'm doing, but I don't know. So I've been trying to learn the double KO. I think what I'm like missing is the Deku Nut throw. Like, I'm not understanding how to get that second nut throw to keep her stunned long enough for me to do the jump attack. And I've tried to keep my items so that it's easiest for me to perform certain tricks. And even with the layout that I have it at, it still isn't fast enough for like all the tricks that I've been trying to learn, which really sucks because I need to have these buttons like kind of set in stone. And what I was originally doing was I was gonna have go from left to right what items I've obtained, not necessarily in the order that I obtained it, but in the order of where the cursor goes. So it would be like C left would be the bottle, C down would be nuts, C right would be sticks. But I found that to be not comfortable, so I ended up doing C left bottle, sticks, and then C right was nuts. That was comfortable for a while, but then I couldn't get ISG quick enough on stick during Ganon. And so I ended up opting to do the nuts bottle and then stick, because that's what I've noticed a lot of like N64 runners and old IQ runners would use. Have the bottle on C down at all times and either put C left or C right as a stick and then nuts on the opposite. And I might actually go back to that, like putting sticks on C left instead of C right, but I'm methodical. I like to like plan stuff ahead. Like I'm a big controller nut, so I try to get everything as comfortable as I can. And so, like for example, I'm like a big Steam controller fanatic, and I've gotten it to the point where when I play FPS games, it's either shoot and reload or on the same trigger, and then I can do ADS and something else on another trigger, like interact or something. Or it's sprint and jump are on the left trigger, and ADS and fire are on the right trigger. And I try to not press A, B, X, or Y on like any of my FPS games. Like I've gotten that methodical about it. So going from that and going to playing this, it kind of amplifies a bit because I'm not only trying to learn it for this controller, I'm also trying to get it comfortable for if I have to switch over to GameCube controller or Switch Pro controller, if NSO ever actually gets fixed. The other thing that I hate actually about NSO that actually makes me not want to run it with the item setup that I have right now is where it is. Actually, just pull it. Actually, no, because then you guys can't see the controller. It's green. Actually, no, I'll keep my controller on. So when NSO, you play it, A and B are normal, right? X and Y are normal-ish. They're C button items, but they're not the same C button items as like Wii VC and Wii U VC, if you map it, right? It's, I think, yeah, so it's Y as C left and X as C down, and then you can't access C right through ZR. You have to do ZR and then B or A, I guess, yeah. Because it turns... So I guess what they were trying to do is get single Joy-Cons to work properly with the game. So so they just made it universal for all the controllers. So you have to hold ZR if you want to use C right, like as a button and not the stick. Because like you can still use the right stick for items, but if you want to do like the cool tricks, you have to hold ZR to use all your C button items, and it's really stupid and I hate it. But I did manage to complete a full playthrough using this route on NSO when Ocarina of Time came out on NSO. I hated it so much. I could not get ISG to work on this controller properly. And if this happens to be faster and I have to play with this controller, which it sounds like I might have to if I want it to be faster, it's gonna suck. The problem is I do, like I said, I do an exclusive 1.0 method to get a glitch that is actually used in the run. When I was power crouch stabbing the webs to burn it, you actually do that with the regular like world record run will do that, but the way they get it is different. They actually take damage from the Deku Baba to perform quick put away. I do it with putting away and throwing a Deku Nut, which apparently it works on 1.0 only. It doesn't work on 1.2 or 1.1 or I shouldn't say 1.1, but I know it doesn't work on 1.2 for some reason. So it's an exclusive way to do it, but I find it to be easier than doing the quick put away from a damage source. I don't know. I think just me being in control just finds it more. I find it more reliable than doing like relying on RNG to trigger it. So, well, that's good to know that all the audio will stay the same if I just power the console on and off instead of hitting reset. That's good to know. So that means my Smash 64 runs are essentially host for audio because those constantly are changing their resolution. So now the question is, does my Avermedia do that when I hit reset? Because if it does that, like with my testing, it's been doing it, but I haven't actually tested it while it was live, in a sense. Because I could get the audio to not trigger and hit the reset button when I was not live, but I think either recording or live streaming on OBS is not a factor. Yeah, no. Smash 64. Yeah, I know you don't have to hit the reset button. The game just I think the game, like anytime a challenger approaches screen comes up or like the credits, I think that's like it's set to a different resolution in game, and so it acts like I'm hitting the reset button when I'm not. Yeah. And what I was meaning by the reset button was what I was trying to test this out with Ocarina of Time in particular for the audio thing. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try Avermedia and include either right now live streaming or recording, and like turn that on and then see if the audio thing still happens with a desyncing or cutting out in my Avermedia. But I want to get all the credits done, because what I like to do for runs, and I think this is actually for like most other runners, like they wait till they get to this end credits screen before resetting when they get a PB, and I like to do that just to keep it consistent.